Greetings, my name is David Long, and today I'll be presenting an analysis of the real estate market of homes on the East Coast. Specifically, I'll be analyzing homes sold in Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island. My analysis will consist of the preparations of data visualizations provided by Power BI and Excel to answer objectives that will be mentioned later in the PowerPoint. So, why is this presentation important? Real estate plays a vital role in our economy. Take the 07 and 08 market crash, for example, which aided the Great Recession. The cost of real estate and rental prices, as well as changes in those prices, have an immediate impact on the wealth of property owners. Through my analysis of descriptive, diagnostic, and predictive techniques, we can identify any trends in recent home sales that may raise concerns, such as decreases in annual home sale prices or total homes sold year over year. Here we have my motivations for selecting this data set. The first is looking to move into my own home. With the recent acceptance of my job offer at PwC set for next year, I want to move into my own place at the completion of my master's. I believe this project is a great way to analyze homes sold, and I can use the knowledge and techniques acquired from this project to analyze home sales in the state I would like to move to. Then we have a potential career interest. After spending a few years in asset and wealth management, I am interested in obtaining my real estate license and pivoting into the real estate sector of tech. This data set is a great introduction to the market. Finally, we have uncertainty in the real estate market, with talks of a potential housing market crash or potential recession. Analyzing home sales will give me an in-depth look at the market in the 5 states. These are the descriptive objectives my project will answer. First, we have popularity in homes sold. The question we want to answer is what is the most popular bedroom amongst homes sold. Next, summarize total homes sold from the most recent fiscal year. We want to know if there's a time where homes are selling more than any other time of the year. The next objective of summarizing top cities and value means which cities accounts for the most of the overall value in total dollars of homes sold. For my presentation, I have chosen the top 5 cities of each state. Next, what is the average annual home sold price? Is the average annual price of homes increasing in comparison to previous years? Finally, which cities lead each state in overall homes sold since 2015? Here we have our diagnostic objectives and our ultimate objective. For our diagnostic objectives, we want to know why did the total homes sold from 2020 make a drastic leap in 2021? Specifically, which state made the greatest increase year over year in homes sold? Next, Rhode Island had the largest year-over-year change in annual average home sold price at a decrease of $90,000. So, we will explore why that occurred. Finally, was there a period in which home sales were higher than the rest of the year? For our predictive objective, we want to predict the sale price of a 3-bedroom home. Namely, we will predict the price of a 3-bedroom home in Connecticut since the state regression model was the strongest of the 5 states. To acquire this data set, we went to Kaggle and searched real estate data sets. Though there are many data sets, this one has a usability of 10. The data set we will be analyzing does not have 900,000 values, but that was the total amount of this data set, which we had to clean and filter. Lastly, we have a brief data dictionary of key fields in the final clean data set. Here's the overview of the data strategy used for this data set. We only used 5 of the states in the data set, specifically in the Upper East Coast. We also only wanted sold homes between 2015 and 2021. Risk to this data strategy was dirty data, duplicate records, columns that weren't vital to our objectives, as well as blank fields. To mitigate these risks, we cleaned the data, filtered out duplicates and blanks, as well as removed any columns that weren't necessary for the objectives. Our analysis strategy was to combine homes sold by each individual state and use a regression model to provide us with an equation to predict the home sale price. Finally, we will apply the results of the regression by plugging in our inputs. The analysis techniques used in this project were descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and regression. Risks to our analysis strategy include weak regression statistic measures such as multiple R and R squared, incorrect analysis methods, and incorrect visualizations. To mitigate these risks, we will analyze the regression model to ensure there is at least a positive moderate relationship between our dependent and independent variables, as well as ensure the visualizations remain true to the objective in which they are supposed to answer or address. This slide will describe the overall totals for some of the visualizations that will be provided for each state in the following slides. The total homes sold in the 5 states that we will be analyzing is 9,970, and the total amount of value in dollars is over $6.5 billion. In the donut chart, we see the total percentage each state makes up and the overall total number of homes sold. New Jersey leads with 33.46% of total homes sold, followed by Connecticut and Pennsylvania to round out the top 3. Below that chart, we can see the trend of homes sold in each state since 2015. A trend present in this chart is all states seen a decrease in homes sold from 2019 to 2020, but experienced an increase in homes sold in 2021. 2021 proved to be the record number of homes sold for each state since 2015. The pie chart shows the total percentage each state makes up of the total dollar amount of homes sold in the 5 states since 2015. Contrary to the order of the donut chart, the top 3 has slightly changed. New Jersey leads by accounting for almost 31% of total dollars in homes sold, followed by New York and Connecticut to round off the top 3. In the cluster column chart, we can see how the average of the annual home sale price changed since 2015. A key point in this data visualization is New York has generally remained stagnant since the drop from 2017 to 2018. In the cluster column chart of the trend of total homes, we can see that the overall total homes sold in the 5 states dealt from 2019 to 2020. We will look further into this later in the PowerPoint. There were 2,190 total homes sold in Connecticut since 2015, equaling over $1.43 billion. At 932, homes with 3 bedrooms sold more than any other bedroom count. 3 bedrooms accounted for almost 43% of homes sold in Connecticut. In the top 5 cities and overall value chart, we can see that only 2 of the 5 cities, Fairfield and Norwalk, for overall dollars and homes sold in the state were in the top 10 cities for homes sold in the state. In the cluster column chart, an observation can be made that the 4th quarter was the most popular for home sales in Connecticut for 2021. The average annual price of homes sold in Connecticut experienced the longest period of growth from 2019 to 2021, which was an increase of $134,147. Total homes sold trended up between 2015 and 2021, resulting in an 87% increase. We can also see that total homes sold jumped from 241 to 331 during the steepest incline from 2015 to 2019. In the final chart, we can see which cities has led the state in total overall home sales. Now we have the analysis for New Jersey. There are 3,336 total homes sold in New Jersey since 2015, equaling over $2 billion. New Jersey is the largest state in regard to total homes sold and total dollars for this data set. At 1,261, homes with 3 bedrooms was the most popular type of home sold since 2015. Since 2018, the annual average price of homes sold have been on a steady increase. Total homes sold trended upwards, resulting in a 159% increase from 2015 to 2021. The steepest incline in homes sold year over year was from 2020 to 2021, which was an increase of 85%. We can conclude there was a boom in the housing market for New Jersey from 2020 to 2021. Finally, though Toms River has sold the most homes since 2015, we can see that there are 2 cities that have more sales in dollars, even though neither of those cities are in the top 10 in home sales. Next, we have the state of New York and their home sales since 2015. These visualizations will analyze 1,727 sold homes and over $1.8 billion. At 591, homes with 3 bedrooms was the most popular home sold since 2015. 3-bedroom homes accounted for 34.22% of all homes sold in New York. Home sales for 2021 were spread pretty evenly across the year, with the highest selling month coming in November. In the top 5 cities in overall value and the top 10 cities since 2015 charts, we can see that even though Staten Island overall sold more homes than New York City accounts for more total dollars in value than Staten Island. With a quick pivot table in Excel, we can see the average price of homes sold for New York City was $2.8 million, while the average price of sold homes in Staten Island was only $792,193. The average annual price experienced the longest period of decline between 2016 and 2019, which was a total decline of $173,337. Finally, total homes sold trended up, resulting in a 48% increase between 2015 and 2021. The steepest incline in homes sold year over year was from 2020 to 2021, which was an increase of 85%. For the state of Pennsylvania, I converted the visualizations for both most popular bedroom count and the top 10 cities into tables. Due to the drastic range of the scales, other visualizations didn't make sense. As seen in other states, 3-bedroom homes were the most popular. At 1,172 homes, 3-bedroom homes accounted for 58% of all homes sold since 2015. For last year's sales, the most popular month was December. The average home sold price has been on a steady decline since 2019. In regard to total homes sold, despite the brief decline from 2019 to 2020, Pennsylvania has seen a steady increase in homes sold year over year. Finally, Philadelphia accounted for 84% of the top 10 cities and homes sold since 2015. The final state we will analyze is Rhode Island. At 352, homes with 3 bedrooms sold more than any other bedroom count. Last year, we see homes sold were on a steady rise throughout the fourth quarter. Regarding the top 5 cities in overall value and top 10 cities for homes sold, we can see that none of the cities that accounted for the top overall value are in the top 10 cities for overall homes sold. The average home sold price has declined since 2018 with a brief increase in 2020. Total home sales have trended upwards, increasing 156% since 2015. In the final chart, we can see which cities has led the state in total overall home sales. As mentioned earlier, none of these cities are as valuable as others, despite having the most homes sold. To answer the diagnostic objective, though the state sold more homes in 2021, the average home sold price dropped. With these findings, we can conclude the surplus of homes sold in 2021 were less valuable or worth less than the homes sold in 2020. Therefore, the average annual home sold price trended downwards, despite a 44% increase in total homes sold. Now, we will analyze our regression model in order to predict the price of a 3-bedroom home in Connecticut. On the left side, we have our regression output, and on the right side, we have the descriptive statistics for Connecticut. You can see that I highlighted standard deviation, which will come into play later. The first statistic to look at will be the multiple R. The multiple R of the regression model for Connecticut was 0.78 or 78%. This is a positive correlation between the total price of the home sold and independent variables, which were number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, and the size of the home in square feet. Next, we will look at the R square, which was 0.61 or 61%. This number shows that 61% of the change in home sold price is explained by the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, and total square feet a given home has. Finally, for this section, we have the standard error. Though the regression model for Connecticut shows a standard error of 564,313.9, it is smaller than the standard deviation of the regression model's dependent variable, which is the highlighted measure on the right side. The standard deviation for price was 902,151, which was found by using the descriptive statistics and data analysis tool in Excel. Since the standard error is less than the standard deviation, the standard error of the model is acceptable. The next section of this model will be a novel section. The first thing to look at is the significance of and test whether it is less than 0.05. We can see the model passes the test and can explain some variation of the price of homes sold. So the model is better than no model at all. The final section of the regression model is the equation. We want to see if the p-values of the independent variables pass the test of significance and determine whether the variable should be removed or not. As we can see, each independent variable passes the test of significance and therefore is significant. Based on the regression model, the equation to predict the future home sale prices in Connecticut will be the intercept plus or minus the coefficients of the independent variables. With the regression equation, we predict that a home with 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and 1,500 square feet will sell for $514,234. Now, we will have a recap of some key points and findings from our project. All states showed an increase in total homes sold from 2020 to 2021. The most popular bedroom count in a home sold in each state was 3 bedrooms. In 2021, the second half of the year, quarters 3 and 4, were more favorable for home sales. 3 of the 5 states seen an increase in overall average home sold price from 2020 to 2021. Each state seen an overall decrease in its total homes sold from 2019 to 2020, which could be attributed to the pandemic. Peak home sales for each state was 2021. New York has generally remained stagnant since the drop from 2017 to 2018. In Pennsylvania, Philadelphia accounted for 84% of the top 10 cities in homes sold since 2015. And finally, New Jersey had the largest of homes sold increase year over year, answering our diagnostic objective related to the total homes sold increase. Finally, we have our reference page, which is the original data set used for this project.